Laketih,
Hey, how's it going?
how you doing, man?
I'm quite all right. How are you?
Hey, Daniel, how you doing, man?
I'm good. How are you?
Man, I'm awesome.
Yeah.
First question: did you ever get that picture of you, Denzel, and Oprah?
No. But what happened? Ava posted the video. Ava posted the video, and then someone sent it to me. Goes, I think loads of people sent it to me. They were like, "Yo, I heard you didn't get it," and loads of people sent it to me. And I forwarded it to the family group, and so that's proof. But I still ain't got the picture yet. No.
But you have proof they've actually seen it.
They saw it, and then I said it to my mom because I was like, I actually asked her, "Yo, I want a picture for my mom to Oprah." So I was like, I said it. Do you know what I'm saying? It's not like I made it up. I said, "Mom, I got a picture. I told you I got a picture." But so I did it. It's out there.
Laketih, now how did they convince you to come out of Clubhouse to do these interviews, bro?
I mean, that's what I want to know. I don't leave, man. No,
Hey, I know. Let me tell you something funny, right? I was in the room with Tyrese, and Tyrese pulled me up. I had no idea what he was talking about, and then I saw you come in, and I tried to pull you up, and you like, hell no, you got out of there quick.
yeah, I don't always go on stage unless I have something I really want to talk about. But yeah, it's been fun. Or if I'm just wanting to have fun, I do both.
Yeah, I enjoyed this movie so much, man. The first thing, how did you put on the weight?
Ate a lot, and then just worked out. Just deadlifts. Just weights. I remember I did a caution fitting, and then I was like, my wrists are too skinny. And I just went, and I think it was 3 weeks left. I went crazy. Then I think I got too big. Then I started doing cardio and kind of trimming down. I was a bit.
Was it just like French fries, potatoes? Like what were you eating?
I didn't want to do like a bulky. I didn't want to do like a dirty bulk. I just ate like just loads of protein. I'd have 2 breasts. There's like half a chicken every meal, protein shake. Like when I wake up, just gained weight. Just for me, I was reaching for an energy, a size, a way that it grounded on the earth. That I was looking at the footage and I was like, I don't feel like that yet. And when I'm grounded in a certain way, then everything else sorts itself out. I don't have to be in my head if I feel the gravity of him. It's how I did it.
You're looking the part, so you feel the part.
Yes, exactly. Yeah.
So let's talk about this movie, man. I made the mistake of watching it before I went to bed. I was trying to get ready for these interviews. I said, let me check it out. Bad idea, man, because we weren't taught this in American history.
Yeah, I know. They skipped right over it, and there's a lot of tragedy involved, but I think there's also some cool things to learn about Chairman Fred Hampton and the Black Panther Party, and just the beautiful things that they did for the community and human beings at large in the world. I mean, you still see implications and practical use of things that they put into motion way back in the '60s. So, which, by the way, isn't that long ago.
Right.
So that's another thing to keep in mind. I think when people watch this, it's like, we have to be able to make the changes necessary to make sure that this doesn't happen again. It's astounding to me how disconnected people are from the civil rights movement. Since this movie has come out, so many people are like, "Whoa, what? Wow!" Like, that wasn't even that long ago. But you guys remember, the Civil War, or you remember the Holocaust, or you remember all these things, but you don't remember the ongoing war that has existed between Black people and the white superiority complex in this country. So yeah, I just think it's a thing to take note of.
It was very upsetting to me, man. I mean, for us in America, it's a part of history that we never were taught. What drew you to this role?
For me, it was just how brilliantly he thought and how brilliantly he gave and how brilliantly he loved was something that just blew my mind, and he was just brilliant. Like the stuff that he said and the stuff that how he has this incredible way of presenting really complex, intricate ideas in a really simple, accessible way. You know, saying that you can really speaks to you. It's like that's like you don't see people like that. It's a really difficult skill set to have and skill set to do. So it was kind of it was that I just. In order to be a part of something that like was educating me whilst on the page, You know, I was getting educated on the page, not only about this time and this history and these philosophies, but about myself. You know, it's that is I just was I want to be a part of it. I was like, yeah.
So what did you learn about yourself? You said, educating yourself from the page. Like, what stood out to you? You was like, you know what? Wow, that reminds me of something that I'm experiencing or thinking about. Like, what was it?
I think it's the idea of like heightening the contradictions, you know, and how I was just like, what? Like I was kind of, I didn't understand it at first, but what was happening was that I'd always believed it. I was just given words for it, you know. Is just that in the sense that if in order to see who someone else is, you have to be really you, as opposed to going towards someone and trying to get them to change their view. You have to, and then when they show themselves, you have to believe them, you know. And then he's doing this in a political context, you know, like genius way of seeing the world.
And watching it on screen to see how he had brought so many people together, just, from the Hispanic community to there were, white people, there was black people. It was a real movement that was about to happen before he got sent to prison.
Yeah. And it was still happening when he got sent to prison, but then, you know, he got assassinated because they knew where he was heading. They wanted to get rid of him before he hit a national level, you know, and that's it's really key to kind of highlight, is that he was really building a sort of serious momentum. And they even saw that if he went to prison, he would still have grown that momentum, like Eldridge Cleaver, like a number of people that had gone to prison and got a claim, like Malcolm X got a claim and then came out even with even bigger following, you know. And so
Yeah.
they made an active effort to not only assassinate him physically, but assassinate him culturally.
I was watching some of the reviews or of the trailer. Basically, people were very excited about it, and somebody said, Lakeith and Daniel, escaped from Get Out to start a revolution. How was it working with Daniel again in a more pivotal role where you guys had more time on screen together?
That's funny. It's great. I love Daniel. I love working with him. He's a great talent. And, we talked about at the end of Get Out, hopefully working on something else together. And it's great that this was the thing that came, something that's so meaningful. And I just love the amount of respect that he approached everything with and care to detail and just artistry. And so, yeah, much appreciation for him.
How was it working with Lakeith in a bigger part from Get Out? Because you guys had real pivotal scenes together.
Yeah, it was amazing, man. Like, he's so amazing. I mean, just to continue to work with him and to see him in a part which that demands more from him, you know, and you see that how much depth he has in him, you know. It's and also it's amazing to have this. We're now it's like two really unique experiences that, you know, we've had together. So you kind of look at someone and go, oh, you feel less alone, you know, that someone understands what you're going through.
It was like a kindred spirit.
Yeah, definitely. When we see each other, it's always big hugs and understanding and knowing, we're on a special route and we're very grateful to be here and we want to continue to help, tell stories that move us and challenge us, but move the world and challenge them if we can.
I'm a big fan of your work. Teddy Perkins, I did him for Halloween a couple of years ago. Uh, I had, a real good experience with Sorry to Bother You. Like, what draws you to these roles? What makes you decide, yeah, this is something I want to do?
Many things, it might be the people that I'm surrounded by or who I might have the prospect of working with. The main thing for me, though, is the story. And if the story is something that I feel moved by, um, even if that movement is just that it's hilarious or that it's something that, deep down hits something in my core that unlocks something that I might have experienced or my family members might have experienced, just many different reasons why. The main thing is, and or that is something that I feel would be powerful for Black people, you know. But the main thing for me is like just a really good story about a human going through different transitions and phases and surviving or not surviving, depending on what it takes. But just thriving through and going through different changes of human emotion that might be able to reflect on the audience and have them see something in it that reflects to them. Just sharing life. That's all it's about.
So for people who have never seen interviews, I guess they're always going to be surprised by your accent. When you decided to take on this part, other than watching footage, did you have to get a dialogue coach at all? Because I mean, you sound remarkably like him.
Well, thank you, man. Yeah, I had a dialect coach, Audrey Lacroix. I think you have to have a that whole like, oh, it's me, I did this myself. That's all. Nah, it's a team, man. You come together. That's how you grow. Do you know what I'm saying? That's how you grow something special. You have to do it with people, and own that, And so it's like I had an Audrey Cohen, I had it, and then there was moments when she was really scared about my voice, because I'm not really I'm not classically trained. So when I do these scenes, I just go for it, and I could be ruining my vocal cords. I couldn't afford to do that on the shoot because I'm doing these speeches for 12 hours, like any muscle. This is like, it's gonna tire, and you can actually really do permanent damage. I couldn't afford that. So she was like, yo, go to an opera singing coach. So I found an opera singing coach and kind of grew like my conditioned my diaphragm, conditioned my vocal cords to prepare myself for these insane days when I'm just going to be doing speeches, and to make sure that my vocal cords could recover like any athlete, So it was kind of like that.
As a person who does sports announcing for football teams and basketball teams and a radio show, I understand that completely. So was there any time when you woke up and were like, oh no?
Yo, there's a scene in the film where I couldn't speak and I'm doing a speech because I had to ask them, I was like, yo, you can't please let me do one speech a week because I need time to repair. You know what I'm saying? I don't have it. But then the speech outside the steps when I'm with the Rainbow Coalition, with the Young Lords and the Young Patriots, I couldn't say like they can hear like a rasp to it because I did the I Am Revolutionary scene 2 days before. So even with the day in between, I still didn't have time to recover my voice because it was such a heavy toll that day, And yeah, and it did that. And on the day I couldn't do the speech like at the beginning of the film. They say I don't need no mic. That day I needed a mic, and they needed to I needed a mic to help me out and prop me up. But that's what I'm trying to say. It's a team. You know what I'm saying? It's not like you can't do it by yourself. You know what I'm saying? You need like the sound guy stepped up and say, yo, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that, and got the speakers ready, this is that, and you haven't helped me out. So I can still feel like I was projecting, but I wouldn't be able to, this person down there wouldn't be able to hear me, It's kind of like that.
I went and saw some more of the story, after I watched the movie about, the real life character that you played and how he said in this documentary before his life ended, how he had no allegiance to the Black Panthers. And to me, I was like, wow. I mean, there was this moment where I get the title, this Judas moment where he's preparing this meal and everybody's coming on the premise of all being good, but then it just takes this turn. When you went into that part where you knew when they handed you, the thing to make Fred sleepy and all that, like, how did you channel that energy? Because there were so many times, even when the FBI agent was talking to you, where they actually believed that he was turning and flipping toward the Panther side.
Mm-hmm. Well, my interpretation of that interview he did for Eyes on the Prize was that there was a lot of bravado and a lot of boasting and pretending that he didn't feel things that he really felt in order to convince himself and others that he felt justified in the decisions that he made. But when I got my hands on the long form interview, which is over an hour long, it was indicated to me in that interview that he actually felt bad about the things he did. And he said in the interview at some point, I felt bad about it, but I had to continue to play the role. And there would be other little inserts and parts where you get an indication that he's trying to cover up for the idea that he knows he did something that was terrible. And by supplying those floor plans to the FBI, he didn't feel good about it, but he had to ignore those feelings in order to continue to move forward. In this interpretation, I didn't want to necessarily ignore those feelings. I wanted to bring them to the forefront, the real feelings he was feeling to the forefront in order to give a nuanced version of the character so that he didn't appear to be just a little two-dimensional villain. I don't think that's as useful in the story that we're telling as someone that is going through a myriad of expressions and emotions. And I also don't think that anybody is born a stone cold monster that wants to destroy people. I think that happens over time and experience, and has to do a lot of times with their ambitions. And because his ambitions was self-preservation first, then I think he was the opposite of Fred Hampton in that way. And so, but he appreciated a lot of the things that Fred Hampton was doing. Like I remember him saying, even He was trying to find dirt on him, trying to find drugs, trying to find illegal weapons, trying to find sex outside of his relationship, anything he could find to demonize him in the public eye. Couldn't find it. And so he was like, this guy is not what you're saying that he is. But Mitchell's like, you better find something. So at the end of the day, I felt he was caught in a cog of things that he couldn't control.
Well, I know we got a minute left here. Final question. When people see this film, a great movie like this, there's going to be dialogue once the credits start rolling. What do you want them to think about?
I just want them to take it away with them. I'm not necessarily want to tell them what to think, you know. I think what's more interesting, I think I love the films like this, and I've been blessed to do a number of them, is that you don't know what's going to happen after. And that's the exciting bit. That's the creative bit. I didn't know what was going to happen after Get Out. I had no idea what was going to happen after Black Panther, you know, and so the fact that they want to think about it, they want to take it away, they want to conversate, is the blessing. I mean, and what they talk about and how they talk and what they build is a reflection of them and a reflection of the people that they are around. And I want people to have that. But my aspiration is that you want to take it if you do, but I'm not going to force you. You know what I mean?
A lot of the things that were going on in the 60s are like they could have happened yesterday.
I hope people ask themselves, in which ways am I like O'Neal? Because most people ain't like Fred Hampton. Out of everybody that sits down to watch this movie, one or two people will be like him. The rest are more situated closely to Bill O'Neal in terms of wanting to secure first their own lives or even their own families' lives. And all y'all, we're individualistic in America by and large. And capitalistic, which both things Bill O'Neal represented. I want people to ask themselves, what ways can I relate to that? What would I do in that situation? Realistically, everybody would like to think that they'd be Fred Hampton, but what would you really do? So I want to ask those questions and challenge people to try and figure out what that would look like. And the question is always much better than the answer.
Yeah, I guess if somebody had to say, if you got 18 months for car theft and you got 5 years for impersonating a police officer, you can do all that, or you can go home. What would somebody here in 2021, how would they answer that question? What would they do?
In the year of the rat. And also we see Tekashi 6ix9ine and everything that's surrounding that. It's like, that's a big metaphor for that's almost, and he's still very popular. People are like, well, whatever, and I know as civilians the rules are different than it is when you're in the streets, but at the same time, the idea that you'd be someone that will flip on the people that get you to the very place that you're at, it's something that we see now. So it's a question to ask ourselves.
Hey, we look forward to seeing you on the screen, man. I enjoyed it. Hey, congratulations. We appreciate the time. We're huge fans of your work, man, and look forward to what you do next.
All right, thanks, Ryan, man. Take care of yourselves, man.
I look forward to seeing you in Clubhouse. I'll see you there later.
All right, see you there later. Yeah, right after I get done with this. But usually when I get done with press, I just want to listen. I just be in the room listening. I don't want to talk no more.
I promise not to pull you up, bro.
All right.
All right, peace.
All right, peace.